What's up, people? Steve with Entering Into Space. Back. Finally. Been mega astro lazy. I don't know what's been going on. The weather sucks. Everything sucks when it comes to astrophotography. It really does. Oops. Anyway, figured I'd start a new kind of series, and you guys can help me out. Called OPD, Other People's Data. So I had a YouTube subscriber send me some data here. And let's see. What the heck? Ugh, where's he at? Where's he at? Jamie Bradley. Let's see. What was he shooting this with? He was shooting NGC 7822 with the ASCAR FRA 500. Have no idea what that is. Probably a refractor, I would guess. He's using the Player One camera. Who's got a Player One out there? I don't. But yeah, I'm hearing good things about him. I really am. And what else? Using the 36mm Pro SHO Antilia. Hey, there you go. I recognize that. Great filters. These are 300-second subs. And he's got some pretty good data. Well, I already peaked, even though it's not on the screen. So let's minimize me. Let's make me smaller. And let's just jump right into his data here. Okay, cool. I have a file over here. Open. I already have his data here. He's got an auto crop, but I think I'm just going to grab the ones that are not auto cropped here. We're just going to go through a Hubble palette processing tutorial, I guess. It's not really, I don't really have anything specific. I do have a little star reduction process that I'm using now that I'll show you. But you know what? Instead of waiting around for something specific to show you guys, I just figured, why not just process some data, right? Let's shorten these names because they are super long. That's S2. Let's move it up over here. STF. This is O3. Some really good looking data. If that was him, I'd be super proud of this. Yeah, man. Yeah, the O3 data is pretty clean. Got some big stars in there. I like that. I like big stars. And this is the HA. Let's do a screen trim. Ooh, look at that. Man, super smooth, Jamie. What the heck, bro? Double click on the identifier there, and then HA. And now we have it renamed. So I think I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna be a little more traditional. Have this stuff facing up, maybe. A little heart. Right? What do you think? Let's go in here to process. All processes, and we're going to go to fast rotation. And we're just gonna flip it. Boink. And it says some things will be irreversible. Irreversible. We don't care. I just closed the tool down. I'm losing it. And flip it. Yes. And open up the S2. We're gonna flip that. Cool. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, this stuff seems like it was straight out of weighted batch pre-processing, WBPP. I don't know that I need to do any DBE on it. I mean, this flat's really corrected out pretty good. Yeah, let's see if let's double click on this little picture-in-picture zoom to optimal fit. Actually, you just gotta click on it once. Let's just make sure everything is aligned. You never know. All right, cool. So I think I'm gonna do I don't think I'm gonna do a colorized. I think I'm going to actually do a little more traditional here, but the one difference is I'm going to combine these stars into the 4-ax palette. Yeah, and I'm going to use the HA as a luminance. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull that HA over, double click on it, rename it Loom. And we're going to deal with him later. Push that up. Okay. So let's do a little housekeeping. Let's move these guys over here. So we want to kind of go through a little pre-process before we combine this. And we'll start with our HA. I'm not really going to worry too much about sharpening the nebula structure because I'm going to put that all into the loom. But I do want to probably reduce the star sizes and do a little star correction on that. So let's do a preview box. Let's grab some of these stars out here and make sure we get a couple of these bigger stars. Boop. Like that. Let's click into the preview box. The preview box allows us to, just like the term implies or the name implies, preview what we're going to do before we actually apply it to the image. So we're going to open up Russell Crowe's Blur Exterminator here. If you don't have it, get it. What the heck are you waiting on? Christmas? It's around the corner. Yeah. So the more you slide this sharpened star slider up, the sharper and more smaller they get. It comes default pretty much 50%. I'm going to move that down. I'm actually going to boost the halos just a little bit. And I'm going to push this sharpen non-stellar, which would be the nebula portion. I'm going to push that way down. I'm not going to worry about sharpening that because it will take some time. And I'm not going to worry about correcting because he's got some really good star shapes in here. So that went fairly quick. So Control Z, my microphone's in the way. Yeah, you know, we're shrinking them down. Control Shift and Z. Dunk, dunk, dunk. It's pretty good. Let's check out this big star. Where you at, big star? Yeah, we're not losing too much of the halo. Tighten the stars up a little bit. Okay. Virus protection. Ugh. So let's drag and drop. Let's move these guys up here so we can see them. We're going to open up Noise Exterminator. Really interesting. I'm interested to see how Russell Crowe's Noise Exterminator does with this Player 1 camera data, because I know I shoot the ASI 6200 and I'm also using the 533, and man, it does some funky stuff to that data. So let's let's delete that preview. Let's create one kind of in the nebula, but then some of this darker region here. So let's see what this thing does. So I'm gonna actually push the first pass the linear data. That's what we're in now. I'll push that down to about 50%. I'm gonna move that slider to protect the edge of the stars. Let's do a little preview. Pretty smooth. Let's zoom in here. Yeah. I think you could take more, but I'm not going to do that on this initial pass. Okay. Dump that on. And the old CUDA core is rocking it. What? That was fast. Okay. Star X, we're going to pull the stars. Yes, because we're going to combine them in the 4X palette. So there's no preview really for that. We're just going to pull the stars. HA stars. Go ahead and remove that preview window. Minimize the HA. It's hidden. And then it's kind of a rinse and repeat here for the rest of these guys. All right. Blur. The blur has been exterminated. So let's do some noise reduction. Cool. O3 stars. O3 data. S2 is the last one. Blur exterminator. And noise exterminator on the S2. And ditching the stars. Get out of here. Filthy stars. Groovy. Yeah, see that? It did it there too. You see this kind of modeling pattern? But you don't see it in the O3. Whoop, O3 stars. Did the same thing. It's got some weird banding in there. I don't know. And I do notice it more with the S2 data. But that's really not going to show up too much when we stretch it and we combine them all. So let's go ahead and get rid of our witchcraft. All right. And I think, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do, people? Should I pre-stretch and then combine? No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and combine. Yes, I'm going to combine them. There's so many different ways you can do this. But I'm going to open up channel combination. I'm going to go ahead and combine them in the old traditional Hubble palette. Blink. So S2 in the red, HA in the green, O3 in the blue. Hit the global. Close the tool. And we've got an image here. Let's do an auto stretch on it. And oh my goodness gracious, we got a green mess. So let's unlink the STF, reset it. And we're pretty close. We're pretty close. We've got some magenta in here, but watch what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little funky here. Watch this. I'm going to do a little preview box right here. And on this data, I'm going to come in here to process. I'm going to come to color calibration. I'm going to do a background neutralization. I'm going to neutralize the background. Basically, that's kind of like aligning the histogram peaks. Okay, that's pretty much what it's doing. So come here to the reference image, do the drop down list. We're going to choose our preview on image 19. Click OK, and then we're just going to drag a little caret over here and drop it. Hit F12 to kill the auto stretch. And this is something I don't know why, but when I neutralize the background, it's like it applies a stretch there always and forever in green. But watch this, when I hit the STF, book. See? Funky, huh? I don't get it. I don't know why it does that. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust this scratch. Trying not to hit my microphone here. I'm actually going to take this little, this is our red, green, and blue. This is basically what PixInsight has decided to stretch this image to. And it's obviously, you can see it's not stretching the green. You see how that introduces a lot of green, but I'm going to take a little bit more green out. Kind of darkens the image up, but I really don't care. Right there. I'm going to maybe push the red and the blue up. That might be a little bit too much. Yeah. And because this is just color data, I'm not really concerned about doing a very precise stretch on it. I can adjust it some here with curves. And I'm not really blowing anything out. Everything looks pretty good. Right? If this was something like Lagoon Nebula or Andromeda, Orion, something's got a super bright core, I probably wouldn't apply this stretch. I would stretch it more manually or use a GHS, which I'll use on the luminance data more than likely. But anyway, I'm going to accept that stretch. This is old-fashioned. This is old-timey. It's how the pioneers used to do it back when they were driving cattle out on the ranch. We're going to take that little caret. We're going to move over here and put it right here in no man's land. We're going to kill the auto stretch. Now it's all Hulk smash green. And there we go. Now we're stretched. Now we are non-linear. We've got a bit of magenta in this image, especially in the darker regions. So let's go over here to scripts, utilities, correct magenta stars. Comes default to 0.8, and I think I want to push that down to maybe 0.6 and execute. I couldn't even explain what was going on. Okay, so you see that little bit of magenta that we had in here is gonzo. Okay, So let's go in here to process, all processes, and we're going to come down to color saturation. We're going to add a little more color to this image. So the color saturation has a lot of variances here, and you know, if you do a real-time preview and you click, you can kind of see where some of your colors are. But basically what we don't want is green, and what we don't want is magenta. We do want this yellow gold, and we do want the blues, but we don't want the purples, right? So it's pretty easy. We're just gonna push up the color we want. We're gonna come to the color we don't want, bring it down. We're gonna go to the color that we do want, bring it up. All right, and then maybe pull it down. Let's get a little heavier on our, and we can lift that green, or we can pull some of that green completely out. Right about there. So this little button over here will click back and forth between, and I don't know if you can see it in YouTube land, but we've definitely added some pretty cool color. So maybe pull that green down. I know, now I'm futzing with it. Stop futzing. Cool. Let's accept it. Oh, that's a little bit too much. So you can see just like that, we got some really good color. Yeah, man. I think I've got a little fuzz in here I want to get rid of. So I'm going to open up curves. I'm going to do a small S curve. I'm going to sample this portion, see where we're at. A little heavy in the blue right there. That's fine. I'm just going to pull it down. Oop, right about there. I'm going to pick it up. Yeah, I don't want to brighten that up too much. What about there? Kind of take some of the haze out of it. Gives a little more contrast. I don't know why it defaults to such a hard curve. I like to smooth that curve out. With a cubic spline interpolation. I just literally just read that. And accept it. All right. Cool. So this is our color data. And the reason that I didn't want to do a ton of noise reduction, you see we got all this, I don't know if you can see it, we got all this chrominance noise. I'm just going to come over here to convolution, do a real-time preview. Standard deviation, I'm just going to pop it. Bonk. Look at that. And we went from being able to see to what I see if I take these glasses off. Blurry. That's all right. That's super blurry. The reason we did that is we got rid of all that chrominance noise signal. You see everything's nice and smooth. That's all we need. Let's minimize image 19. That's our color data. Let's open up our luminance, right? And now we do want to sharpen the structure, but we don't care about sharpening the stars, right? Because we got these. We still got to combine them. We got another step down there. So we're going to preview our nebula structure. We're going to jump into the preview here. And we're going to open up Blur Exterminator. Any day now. And then we're just going to push this down because we don't care about sharpening the stars. We're going to leave that. We're going to push this down because we can always come back and do it again. About 60%. Let's dump it on and see what we get. Yeah. Control Shift and Z. You can really see. Boom. Cool. Drag and drop. Alrighty. Alright, so let's close that tool. Let's do some noise reduction on this. Push that down a little bit. Going to protect the details. Drag on noise exterminator. All right. Close that down. Let's go ahead and get rid of that preview. And then lastly, we're going to totally pull these stars. We don't want to generate a star image because we're going to use those stars down below. So bye-bye. HA luminant stars. Cool. Okay, so this one, I'm not going to accept the auto stretch. I'm going to go ahead and hit F12 to kill the auto stretch because I'm going to do this more manually. So I'm going to open up GHS and I'm going to do real-time preview. So the stretch factor, I'm going to slide it over until I start to see some oof. Again, this is where sometimes GHS is not a happy camper. But I do like the new feature that they've added in here. So I'm going to stretch it to about there. See if we can power through this together. The new feature is you can set the black point. So if I do the generalized hyperbolic, I come down here and I click it to linear, I can come right behind the histogram, say send to BP. And that basically gives me a new, it moves the histogram peak over to the left. Let's accept that. And then let's stretch it again. Still not digging it, but we're going to get there. Let's accept it again. Generalized hyperbolic stretch linear. We're going to come right behind it. Watch this. Send a BP. Ooh, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. And we're going to accept it. Reset the tool. Yep. So we're just stretching this periodically. A lot of times with this data and this tool, you'll actually blow it out and you'll have to bring it back and it'll actually start really darkening up the background. But for some data, like this particular data set, doesn't want to play that way. So we have to keep setting the black point. Because we do want all this nebulosity out here, but we don't want to blow this out, which we're not doing. We're not doing that. So now I think what I can do is actually select some of this brighter area. I'm going to send that to the SP, the symmetry point. So you can see this value that we chose is now showing up down here because we hit that little button. And now we're going to raise that and you're going to see it holds the background, actually brightens the core. So we had to do a couple of background sets there, but that's fine. It was good for you guys to see. So let's click this brighter portion here. Let's raise it up some. So you see it's basically saying that this brightness value of the data is located way over here in the histogram peak. So let's stretch it just a little bit. You see what it's done, it's really dark in the background. So this protect shadows, if you slide that over, it actually kind of brighten. It brings everything kind of forward so it brightens your whole, the whole image back up. Protects the black point, exactly what it says it's going to do. So let's go back, let's grab something a little deeper in the histogram here, set that symmetry point. About there. Now your stretches are extremely subtle. Right there. So I think there's a strong possibility that it could be done. See, we're pretty bright in here, but we're not really bright. I'm not hating it. We got really good details in here. All right. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to do a preview around this whole shoot and match. What they call the principal part of the nebula, right? We're in a preview mode. we're going to open up local histogram equalization. We're going to push that amount to 0. And we want to affect the larger structures of this nebula, so we increase the kernel radius. We're going to start at maybe 130, and we're going to increase the contrast to maybe like 3. We'll do real-time preview. And now the amount we're going to start with, and we're just going to watch the image. So we've made an effect, but we didn't see it happen. So let's do the before and after. See, it's subtle. You've brightened up some of the spots, you've darkened. You've essentially created local contrast. And I didn't use a mask for that. I'm doing it across the whole image. And subtle is the name of the game. So let's drag it over and drop it. Oop, I didn't. I did it to the preview, not the image. Let's drag it over and drop it again. Okay. I think we're gonna accept it. Let's kill that. And let's minimize it. So let's open up image 19 here, nice and blurry and colorful. So let's open up, we want to apply the luminance, this luminance, over this color data. And we're going to do that with LRGB combination. So we're going to dump our luminance in the L. We're going to turn off the red, green, and blue. Now, with these settings at 50% like this, a lot of times you're going to get a washed out kind of an image. Very little color and almost kind of faded. Let's just see what it does. Yeah, see, it's just kind of bland, right? So I think what that's telling me is my image or my nebula, Jesus, my luminance is pretty dull and needs to be brightened up some. Let's back it off a little bit. Let's close the tool. We're going to open this up. Yeah, see? So that being said, let's open up curves. Let's see if we can shock it a little bit. Do a real-time preview. This is where we want to hold our black point down, so we're just going to pin it right there. We're going to start raising this up. What may have to happen is we might have to do some pullback of the brightness just to be able to see some of these details in here. Let's see, we've already affected the brightness of it. Let's bring it down a little bit. Bring it up a little bit. Cool. All right, so we've brightened the image or the luminance up. Let's open up our color data again. Let's go into LRGB combination. Let's put the luminance in this spot, turn off the RGB. And I'm actually going to push this value up, and that's going to decrease the lightness a little bit. Don't know that I need to increase the saturation, but I am just a tad. Let's dump it on and see what we got. Yeah, that's a lot better. And what we can do is take the same HA data and apply it as a mask. And hit, we just right clicked on the image, came into mask and click show mask. That way we see the image and not what the mask is doing. And we're just going to put on a little curvature. Just brighten it right there. Pull it down I like that. So we're a little bright in here. We're gonna fix that. Let's kill the real-time preview. Let's go mask, and we're gonna do invert mask. You see we've got some magenta in here. So let's just take and pull down the red and the blue. Let's see. We actually introduced a lot of green, didn't we? We don't want to do that. We need a more aggressive mask. Because that HA mask isn't aggressive enough. Mask, and let's remove mask. We still got some magenta in here, but we could just run correct magenta stars again. Let's do that and see what it looks like. Script, utilities, correct magenta stars. Push down to about 60%, hit execute. It's so stinking fast. Yeah, I like that. Now, you see we've got some really bright areas in here. Let's see if we can't work on this before we put our stars in, because we almost kind of lost this little ghosty detail up in here. So let's create a very specific mask for that. Let's go in here to process. Whoop, not all processes. We're going to come down here to noise reduction, ACDNR. This lightness mask. We're going to drop that down. We're going to hit a preview and a real-time preview. So we can push that mid-tone slider up. All we really want to do is attack the high portions where the brightest signal is image. So I've raised the midtones up. I've brought down the highlights. So I'm really just focusing on this area in here. I'm increasing the shadows, which is basically washing out. And I'm increasing the midtones. So really I'm just kind of attacking that brighter area that I feel like could use a little bit of light reduction. So I like that. I'm going to close the real-time preview. Yeah. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make a copy of this image. And I'm going to drop it on. And there's my mask. So I didn't change any settings here. I just dropped a little dude on here after I made a copy. So now I have a mask. So close the tool. So let's apply the mask. Now let's see what the mask is doing. Let's right click on the image and say show mask. So you can see the mask is protecting the areas that we want to affect. So let's right click on the image again, come down here to mask and say invert mask. There we go. Mask, show mask. So let's do a big preview box here. All right, let's click into our preview. Okay. And let's come in here to HDR multi-scale transform. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to really attack these brighter areas and bring them down, but it can actually scare a lot of folks because it does it too much. So this number of layers, we always want to start pretty high at 8. We're going to say we want to attack the lightness, and we're going to create an additional lightness mask. Okay, now let's drag and drop and see what we get. See, that's pretty good. So that's all it did. Like, that's good. You can't hardly see it. Now you can see it better. See? Cool. So we only affected the preview, so we've got to click back out. Very cool. Now, I always think that that tool does a really great job, which it did. But I also think that it kind of leaves everything a little bland. So I want to kick it back up just a little bit with a local histogram. And push that kernel radius up. Increase that contrast limit to like 4. Slide the amount down. And then do another real-time preview. So it's almost having a delayed reaction here. See, it actually employs some brightness reduction within its tool as well. All right, so I like that. It's very subtle. It's going to give a little pop. So this image still has a little green in it. There's some green haters out there. A lot of people think I am, because I developed a whole process called colorized SHO, and I was like, kill the green, kill it. But I'm not a hater of green. I just don't want to fight it. You know, there's a little bit of green in here, but I think it blends this the teal and browns that you have. I think it blends it pretty nice. What do you think? All right. So I'm going to rename this image because it's going to work with our star screen formula. I'm going to rename it Starless. 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 Because it is. All right. Now I want to combine these stars. Remember, in the 4-ax palette to give them some color. So with that, I'm going to come in here to Script, Utilities, 4-ax Utility Palette. And let me tell you something. If you don't have this, if you can't find it in your new version of PixInsight for some reason, because I'm still on the old version, the old crutchy, crankety version, just use luminance stars. It's just as good. So I'm going to choose this box. Actually, I'm going to choose this box because I have 3 channels. It does not work without applying your nebulosity data, so I don't really care about that image, but I'm going to have to put it in there anyway. S2, HA, O3, that is your nebula, but here's where we really want. We want the stars, so S2 stars, HA stars, and O3 stars. And we're going to hit execute. Cool. So these are our 4-ax stars. Put those right there. We don't really care about any of these other masks or the data that it spit out. So 4-ax stars. Here they are here. So this is going to be kind of the first step into kind of a new, kind of cool star technique that I've been working on. So starless image, right? So our starless, we've already designated that. We've got some great structure in here. But you could put a lot of stars back in here and just kind of lose a lot of this really cool starless nebulosity data. I mean, look at all this dark structure. This thing is just a hot mess. And we don't want to lose that. So we're going to do 2 things to give this image depth and protect. Essentially what we're doing is we're protecting some of the brighter, more interesting areas of the image and not masking them out with a whole bunch of stars. Make sense? Let's minimize. So first thing we're going to do is stretch. So this is stars are still in the linear state. We're going to open up GHS. We're going to take this local intensity and slide it way over to about 0.6, 0.7. That protects those bigger stars from getting too blown out. Do a real-time preview, and then we're going to take the stretch factor. And I find anything in between like 2 and 4 works well in that initial stretch. So see, we don't want to completely blow our stars out like that, right? We want to find a nice right about there. Where are we at? We're at 5. Might be a little too much. So we're just barely stretching the stars, okay? We're going to accept that. All right. Okay, we're going to close the tool down. This is our stretch number 1. So 4-ax stars, let's rename this just stars. So our star screen formula works. Minimize that. So let's open up our starless image. Okay. And remember that AC DNR, we're going to go back into that. Noise reduction, AC DNR. Reset the tool, do a real-time preview, and then invert it. Let's brighten it up. We want to do a really faint. Obviously, right mask is stronger here, it's fainter out here. We're going to take some of the midtones off. We're going to do this really faint mask. Wispy, foggy, faint mask. Something like that. Yes, I know you're not done. Oh my god. Okay. Remember, make a copy and drag and drop. So this is our wispy little faint mask that we just made. Let's just minimize the tool in case we need it again. Move it down here. We'll put it down here in a little cubby. And we're going to apply that mask. So remember what we did when we applied this before. Because the mask is inverted, it's naturally protecting the brighter areas. Okay? We're going to leave that on. So what we're going to do is the areas that that mask are protecting, the stars are still going to go back there. They're just not going to be as obnoxious. I don't know. So we're going to open up Star Screen. This is the formula that you find when you're looking at Star Exterminator. And we are going to drag and drop. So you can see we got stars in here, but you see how they're kind of muted? Right? So let's back up. You got time for this, right? Let's remove the mask. And let's dump it on again. So it's not so bad just because we didn't stretch these stars too crazy. And that's kind of the first step, right? It's pretty cool that we can separately stretch these stars. So you can still see their stars. You got color. Look at the star color in here. That's the 4x. Right? Let's back up again. There's our mask. This is our wispy, faint mask. Apply it. And then Star Screen. Boom. So good stars in here. You see them really muted out here. All right, that's step one. Those are our background stars. Those are those little pesky stars that make your image look like garbage. You did all this work to make this nebulosity look lovely, and then you put stars back in it, and you're like rats. All right, so that's step one. Minimize. We took that mask off too. So let's open up our stars again. Now we're going to stretch them again. GHS, real-time preview. We're going to barely protect the local intensity because we do really want those brighter stars to pop more. Right about there. Now you can see we've got some of these brighter stars in here popping. That's about all we want. Accept it. Close the tool down. Close the real-time preview. Leave this image open. We're going to open up range selection. All right. Do real-time preview, solid white. Boom, a little bit. Look, nothing. Wait a minute. Boop, 2, right there. And then we're going to take the smoothness, we're going to smooth that out. So what did we do here? We effectively made a star mask that only encompasses the brighter stars. Ergo, the closer stars to us, as if we were zooming into this nebula. I've said it countless numbers of times. But guess what? I'm almost 50, and I'm starting to repeat myself. Get over it. Okay, that's our star mask. Yep, so hit the square button to accept it. Close down range selection. Let's close the real-time preview. We're going to take our star image and minimize it. We're going to leave our mask open and open Starlist back up. And then we're going to apply the mask. Boink. Cool. All right. So if we do mask and we do show mask, you can see all these areas in here are going to get bigger, brighter stars, and all these areas in here aren't. Yeah? You like it? Show mask. All right. So star screen. Let's open up again. Drag and drop. That's it. I know. It just blew you out of your chair, right? Get back up. Get back up. It's okay. It's all right. Dust yourself off. I know that was just amazing. Let's see. Let's zoom in here. Maybe if I do it that way. Boonk. Boonk. So these stars here, up here closer, they're more numerous. We've got stars in the image, we can see. But we didn't get carried away with our stars. And look, we got this little bright star here. It looks like he's like a little candle. Yeah, cool. All right, mask and remove mask. So this is the image. You know, a lot of people, and I might even look at this and I might go, maybe I should go back in and hit those stars a little bit more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to bore you with that. The star adjustment is what it is, and you can always adjust it and brighten the stars up more because you can always go back. It's the lovely thing about a go back button. All right, so now that we are non-linear, let's do another real-time preview on this structure here. Let's zoom in. Let's open Blur Exterminator back up. We definitely do not want to sharpen the stars. They're small enough already, right? Let's sharpen non-stellar. We're going to kind of move that back down. We're not going to get too crazy with it. Let's do another sharpening. Ooh, man. Boink. Look at that. Star Exterminator is badass. It's almost a little too badass, right? Don't you think? Maybe? A little too much? Yeah, I think a little too much. Let's push that down. Let's do it again. So it just kind of took the blur filter off. I like it. Awesome. All right, let's kill the preview. Let's delete. Let's go in here to some of these darker regions. And I think we got some chrominance noise we can probably deal with. So let's open up Noise Exterminator. Back it off just a little bit. Move this detail to protect the details. Do a before and after. Lord, you are not going to see this, but trust me. Just kind of cleans the whole image up. Can you see it? Squint. Push your nose up against the screen. Do it. Anyway, cool. Let's go back in here. Dump it on here. You're not going to be able to see anything this does, but just trust me. It's worked. It works. All right, close down the tool. Oops. Kill the preview. I think what we can do is come here to histogram transformation. We're going to choose our starless image. We're going to check that out. I think we are a little heavy on the blue. Let's push the green up just a little bit. Ooh, we forgot to do a real-time preview. Let's try to even those histograms out. Brighten this image. Choose the red. Haha, huzzah. So you can see, that's what we needed. We need a little pop. Maybe a little bit more on the red. Very nice. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I like this image. Got good structure, got good detail. We could run some dark structure enhance on it. I mean, our stars I probably didn't stretch them enough. Probably could have stretched them just a little bit more, but you know what? I'm not hating on it. You know what? I got stars in here and I can see the nebulosity. And I would definitely post this image. I would say, hey, look everybody. Look at my 7822 lion face Mufasa nebula. Yeah. I mean, we got some really good details in the core. We didn't blow it out. All this faint nebulosity has really got some good structure in it. Pretty happy with it. So Jamie Bradley, great image, and I appreciate you reaching out. And you know, if you guys want, if you want to see me process your nebula, your data, your nebula, just your nebulas, not your galaxies. No. If you want to see me process your data on this OPD, other people's data series that I'd like to do, send it to me. I'll leave my email in the description down below. And yeah, pretty cool. I had fun doing this. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks for sending this over. It's been fun. So until next time, sorry it's been so long. Hopefully it won't be as long again. I wish I could do a image capturing video for you, but we're in El Nino season and the weather is a drag. Literally, it's dragging moisture across Central Florida constantly. It's a drag. But until next time, clear skies and clear minds. Like, did I say that backwards? Is my mind clear? Anyway, whatever. See ya.